Hey everyone, for this next tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to create text outlines for your text. So first thing, like always, is I'm going to come up here to Composition, New Composition. I'm just going to name this one Outlines. You can do this with, I think, shapes as well. It's just a slightly different method. If that's something you're interested in, please let me know. I'll definitely make a tutorial for that. Again, I'm going to make my duration 10 seconds. My frame rate's about 24. And your background color doesn't matter too terribly much because it doesn't render. So I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to create my text. So for me, I'm just going to call this Text Outlines. I'm going to do everything that I would want to do with this text. So that might be changing my font to Arial, or maybe, no, I'll Bonscript. Let's do Broadway. That sounds fun. And then I could change it to bold or italic, whatever you might be using as your text. So let's see, let's find actually a nice little bold font, like Franklin. Then I'm going to make sure it's the right scale. If I want to change anything about the kerning, I need to do so now. If I want to offset anything, I need to change that. And then I want to position it where it's going to be going. Now, if you're having it follow on a path while it does this, it is a little bit more of a complex situation for that. Is still possible. It's just a little bit more complex. Okay, so I now have my text. So mine just says text outlines. I'm going to come over here and make sure that my inside fill, so I'm going to Control A so I can highlight all of my text, is empty and I only have strokes. So you can see I have strokes and fill. I'm just going to reverse that. And then I'm going to make sure that my stroke is visible just so you guys can see. So I'm going to do 3. You can do it as high as you want. Just be aware. It'll look kind of weird if you get really chunky. And then I'm going to come over here to Text Outlines. I'm going to right click the word itself. And I'm going to make sure that I do Create Shapes from Text. Now if you notice, there's also Create Mask from Text. This is a really good way, very quick, to make a mask from your text. Just going to give that a little click. It should automatically hide your original text outline and make you a shape layer. So this nice blue, you can see it's a shape because it's got a star, that has all of our words, all of our letters here as individual little layers that we can toggle off and on. So up here, I'm going to click Add a Trim Path. And I'm going to open this up. And a good rule of thumb is, depending on the type of animation you have, you might have to change both the offset, the start, and the end time for your outline animation. So I like to just, at the first frame, till I know for sure, keyframe all 3 start, end, and offset. For the most part, I do always have to change at least start or end and offset. So I just keyframe those at the beginning. I'm going to move off to about 2 seconds just so I can show you what each one does. So if I change my start to about 50 and click away, you can see my text is about 50% outlined. I can do the opposite. Take my end down to 50%, and you'll see it's about half. And so I'm going to just pull my 50% up for my start, and I'm going to change the offset. So what you can see happens here is the offset of where these edges of my text are animates. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have, at this moment here, just a little bit of N. So there's just a tiny bit, just so we can kind of see it. So when I click play, you'll see I get a tiny little end that shifts here. So if I want all of my text to end by 4 seconds, I'll delete these keyframes here, I don't need them. I'm going to take my start all the way to 0. You can do your end too if you want, take that to 0. All it'll do is, as it unlines, it'll reline. And I'm just going to offset 50%, just to see. So when I click away and hit play, you'll see it's moving as it's undoing. Now, if you're having issues getting your animation to look exactly how you like, it could be that the keyframes themselves are not easing in the proper way. So at any point during any animation, you can right click on your keyframe, come up here to Keyframe Assistant, and you can change how the keyframe is coming into motion. So you can ease it in, ease it out, or you can ease it, which is where it slows down, both coming into a motion and going out of a motion. So if I want to ease in to this keyframe, so you can see it kind of goes in, there's a slight change to my animation. It's just a really nice, interesting way to change animation. Now, if you wanted to, you could 100% make each letter its own shape. That way you could offset them. How I did this one here. Each letter is its own shape. And that is how I got these to be offset as they are. It's a little bit more setup. Pretty much all it is you take each letter, Control X, click away, Control V, and paste it into a new shape. Just takes a little longer, but is definitely worth it if that's what you're looking for. And yeah, that's all there is to creating an outline for any text.